Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to today's video. So yes, we are back. We've placed a trade finally, and I'm happy to say it was a green trade. We made 10 cents on MPT. There was sort of three setups which I'm going to talk about today. Capitalized on one of them out the gates. I hesitated on the second one. I think it's because I've probably emotional again, protecting profits, protecting the green day maybe, and then there was a really good shorting opportunity which I'm going to talk about. So yeah, happy overall that we finally got a trade in the books and it was a green one. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video and hope you all had a great day. Let's talk about the trades. So as you see here, up $10.22. Just show you here, closed positions MPT in at 301. Out at 311. That's sort of the aggregate. You see the actual price in there. Yeah, so MTP was the only one we was really keeping an eye on. It's quite dead in the gap scanners this morning. Because of that, it can be quite good because when you get one, MTP wasn't the best, but it was gapping up and it was making the move. It was a lower float, good pricing's okay. So you know, people are going to keep an eye on this. Most traders are watching this one. So. I kind of had a pre-market plan you see how we've got this sort of wedge here, this sort of wavelength here between the 290 and the 270 area. So my plan would have been, if it at the pre-market open, would have been to sell for the push over 290, which was a high day, which would have been right there, and to sell into pop. Just before the open, you see how I sell into the pop over $3. That was the plan, but just before the open, you see here the 10-15 minutes before, it's sort of grinding up, got to that 305 area, becomes sort of resistance. So now I was in two minds. I was basically either going to wait for a wash. Let me select this VWAP. Sorry, I was either going to wait for this washout long down to the VWAP, which was around the 277 area, or I was going to look to sell over this 305, and that's basically what happened. So what happened was, just before the open, I think people got, I'm talking about seconds before the open, the 10 seconds before the bell. I think people got trigger happy. It popped up to 305, so I was like, that's not great. And literally 301, it was already up to 310, 312 area. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to chase this now. Waited for the pullback. So it pulled back all the way down to this area, which I had marked out, this sort of 95. So got in for the pullback. So it made like a 20-cent drop basically. Got in from the pullback at 301, and then you see I sold at 311. If I was just a bit more patient, I should have been, because there's no real reason not to. It's a hard one to say really, because I guess it's hindsight. If I was a bit more patient, it went up to a high of about 25, like 25-ish. So could have capitalized on like maybe 25 cents, about 20 cents. But I just sold it quite quickly. I guess it's never a bad thing to take profits quickly, but if a bit more patient there, we would have got a better result. But overall, happy with that trade. I hope that makes sense. The next opportunity was right here. So when we got the pop here, it made this pullback back to the EMAs around to that $3 area. That was a very good area just to. Yes, it might have sold off, but we could have sold. We could have just cut the loss quickly, but it made a nice pullback. And even if we didn't buy this pullback here, the area we should have got was over the 1 minute make the new high over the 322, and you see it made a great move up to 340. I saw that in real time, hesitated on it, and I believe, and that's part of the lesson learned here. I think that was mainly an emotional thing, and I think it's the fact that I took a trade for. First trade in a while, in over like a week and a half. It was a green trade. Maybe I was slightly protecting that green streak. I'm not 100% sure. I think that was what I was thinking. So I didn't pull the trigger. And then after that, it was just quite hard. It was grindy. It was making a good trend, to be fair. You see how we got this trend all the way here, coming up, and then it broke the trend. But it was really hard to get in. The next area you could have looked to get in would have been here for the break of 350. You see how 350 touched support once, twice, almost three times, and then on this one, I believe this was actually a 5-minute setup as well, which coincided with it. So you see how we got there, we got the pullback to the EMA, and then we got the break. So yeah, that was it. You see the break of 350. So it was like a 5-minute setup, and you see it in a 1 minute time frame. That was a really good one. Being honest, I'm noticing that more from a hindsight perspective, looking at the charts. I had an idea in real time, but it wasn't the one I was looking at. That's a bit more of a hindsight one. But the first entry and the second entry definitely saw in real time. And the third entry, which was actually a short, I saw this in real time. I actually went to take a trade on my DAS trader. I haven't got that loaded up, but DAS trader, for whatever reason, it's not allowing me to short stocks. So I've got to look into that, because it's mainly the reason why I wanted it is to short stocks. But just to give you an idea, what it was MTP. You see how you see how when it gaps up, it makes a big move, sells off. Here, not gapping up, but big move selling off. So you've got these wicks at the top. Once again, selling off, selling off. You just see all these wicks. So basically, it tells me that when this stock moves, it retraces its steps. Now I'm looking for an entry. Where was the first kind of resistance point? Well, you see how I marked out this candle right here. This $3.80, $4, and then you've got this $4 area right there. But I was keeping an eye on that 380 area, mainly because they like to play off previous candles, which you see here. And you see how it's pretty much almost touched it. What did it do? It retraced the move back as well. So I did, one guy who I was speaking to today on Discord, he knew that I took this trade. Well, I mentally took this trade, so I did call it out in real time. But I'll just show you exactly what it was. So you see how here it makes this big move up. When it broke that 5-minute setup, you see how it literally touched on this candle 380 exactly. So we need a retest. So it came down, it retested here. This is where when I saw at 375 that it wasn't going to break, I actually went to get in. It was around 371. But as I said, the order didn't even execute because it won't allow me to short it on DAS Trader. This is a paper account, my other account that I was looking to short, and it didn't. You see how we then got this lovely move down to the 340. Maybe I think I probably would have been tempted to take the profit there, even though it definitely had a move down to 320, and that was what I was looking at when I was looking to get into this trade, was the move down to 320. Why 320? Because you look at this is the first real resistance, sort of resistance area, so support area, if you see how it come off here. And you see how it pretty much played with that 320 eventually today. It's actually playing off it all day now. You see how it's then become resistance here, and now it's looking like it's just broke above it and becoming support. But yeah, we did get this breakthrough. We got this false breakout, so this would have been a great candle to get in on again when it got the we got the false break. So you see how it's broken through 380, got rejected behind it. So now it's become resistance. It's still resistance. Great area to get short and then ride that wave down to that first sort of support area, which is around the 320. So a nice 60-cent move. Maybe you would have capitalised from 50 cents, which is great. But yeah, they were the three sort of trades I saw in real time, and as you said, there was a really good 5-minute setup as well, which I'm seeing a bit more hindsight. So that is it for the recap. Thank God we got that trade in. We got a trade in. Really happy with that. And yeah, tomorrow's another day. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you then. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.